All right, guys, we've got Bunny in the bottom left side of this quarterfinals up against onside Solar. I mean, Bunny had an amazing run to get this far. He had a great turnaround in the round of 16. Unfortunately for him, Solar is one of the greatest defensive Zergs in the world. Solar will take a punch like no other. This man has the jaw of iron. If you actually took real physical damage for your StarCraft style, I'd be worried about Solar the way I'm worried for Tony Ferguson. It definitely feels like he takes a beating every game, but thankfully it's a video game, and so there's no lasting damage. Solar will absorb punch after punch for the first 10 to 13 minutes of every Zerg vs. Terran, and then he will destroy you with Lurkers and Banelings and Hydras. He's an absolutely beast in that regard. Reaper dancing in and out. The Lings trying to fight as well as they can. We got 21 drones, 4 Zerglings, and he is also the unluckiest Zerg in the world, or player in the world, as many people call him. Oh, guys, did we just give him the caster curse? Unluckiest player in the world, kills the Reaper at the start. An incredible start there for Solar. Well done, Twitch chat, for getting me to say that one. Factory does come out. Third command center's on the way here as well. Factory's going to land on the barracks. It's a bad start for Bunny, but on the other hand, you know, the rest of his opening's okay. We'll see if he can still create some action with aliens. Just a little bit overly eager going into that scenario. Now, interestingly, we do see a second gas and a starport pre-Hellion production. So he's not leaning into the aliens at all, which means free reign on the creep spread for Solar. He's taking the triangular third, and we'll see if we can go to the fourth as well. One gas there. One worker on gas, that is. Extra overlords on the way, hitting a slight supply block on 44, but only quite slight. Nothing to write home about. Marine is there. Overlord's hanging out on the pillar. Should be seeing these Hellions slowly making their way out. An interesting Hellion positioning. What do you look at? He's hunting for Ling run-bys. Look at that. He's like, there's a lot of the time they hide 6 Lings here, and they try to come in when they see your Hellions drive past the Overlord. So checking his corners. You know what they say, guys? Doors and corners, doors and corners. Bunny playing TVZ today as if he's clearing out a heavily armed cartel drug den. Banshees and Cloak are on the way. So very straight up opening for Bunny. Bunny's a master of multi-prong. I really am curious to see how he does with Biomine, just parading and out multitasking Solar. He's very good in timing attacks. Funnily enough, Bunny, when we asked him after his round of 16 match, who do you want to face, Raynor or Solar? He said Solar. He said Raynor. He said, I actually feel way more confident versus Raynor. Solar's, I think, got a better understanding of his style is probably part of why he said that. And of course, his dominating victory over Raynor in GSL when he went over there was it was an emphatic victory. Solar will not die to your timing attacks quite as cleanly. Beyond does seem to have a way of finding Solar's weakness with those attacks, but easier said than done. Okay, Hellion's trying to drive down the right side. 6 Hellion's going to get right up in there. Gotta watch out, man. 0 respect right now with these Hellions. That was a pretty deep dive. Queens do push it back. Only 3 drones go down. Could have been worse. The Banshee's coming forward. I always feel like Banshee opening is one of the lowest impact and lowest initial value plays. And since I always feel the Warrior as a Terran is letting the Zerg get out of control on the drones, Banshees, I think, are a really bad choice for players who aren't top-tier pros. The reason the Banshee is amazing is if you're a guy like Bunny, you can dance in, pick off a drone, pull away, you force a lot of detection, you force them to go quick lair and slower upgrades. We can see there's only a single Evo chamber going down much after the engineering bays are already starting upgrades here for the Terran. And if you keep them alive, you recycle these as one of the best defensive units in the game. They're so good at stopping Ling Bane run-bys later on. Solar's map vision getting limited right now. You do not want to lose these Banshees, though. I definitely think of Bunny as a Cavalier player, guys. There's aggressive Terrans, and then there's Bunny level of, I'm just going to try and dive right onto your carotid artery, bite into that bad boy, and I don't care if you're hitting me with haymakers at the same time. As long as I rip your artery open, you know you're going to bleed out. There are times where he is careless with his defense. He sacrifices it to get the aggression. It gives him killer power. It gives, obviously, players like Solar a lot of respect for him. But it does mean, if Solar's defense is just right, things can fall apart quickly for Bunny in the later stages. Obviously, depending on how he plays it. Just siege tank style for now, though. He's not going for the Widow Mines. Unfortunately, he messed up his factory placement. But with the rally point now across the map, I do think the siege tanks will pop out over here from now on. So we shouldn't have that problem with the tanks getting stuck too much more. It's a 2 siege tank push, and usually you want to put those tanks here and here, I would imagine, and then just drop some Marines across the ledge to try to get some damage. You can also try to put the siege tanks there, but it's much easier for the Zerg to flank from the right side. Solar does not have that much creep spread. It's going to be tough to deal with. Wait, wasn't there 2 tanks he picked up? No, it's only a single tank. Oh, okay. That tank a little bit out in the open. It'll be easy for Lings to get on top. It's only 7 minutes. Baneling speed, oh, I was going to say isn't done, but there it is. Solar's got the numbers to easily clear this army. Bunny is kind of just keeping him back through fear of what might be out there in the fog of war. Check Solar's vision. He doesn't know what's out there. Often you've got a bunch of Hellbats guarding the siege tank. Here we go. Hellions coming from the bottom, and they drive into the Banelings a little bit. 4 of them do get away. That siege tank shot was killer on those Banelings. Banshees join up on the front as well. Every Terran unit is clearly right here, right now, trying to get the victory. It is a non-stop parade of units of 66 workers. No time for 8 racks. No time for second factories or 4th command centers. Bunny is making it or breaking it right here, right now. He's got a 13 army supply advantage. The tank is quite far back, and as I say that a 4th command center or a 2nd factory starts up, Bunny is looking for momentum, but he's got a lot of riding on this. Solar going for a small Ling flank. Not really a backstab, more of an interception on the rally. And he will get a couple of Marines as well as slow down the units from rallying across this map. Bunny's going to have to change that rally back at home. The Banshees are already there. I like that pullback, anticipating this sort of move, and Bunny even snipes the 4th. Solar has not started a new hatchery on the right side. He only starts it now. If he already had that half finished, you move drones there, you don't really care, but instead he loses the hatchery, the infestation pit's in jeopardy. Bunny's aggressive play, his momentum is absolutely Chad mode. Hive is almost done for Solar, but a Hive means nothing if you can't really use it. And look at that, infestation pit goes down, a couple of Overlords go down. It feels like Solar's getting very little respect from Bunny right now. I mean, Bunny at this point says, cool, I got the damage, I can play a macro game. 2nd factory, 4th command center, his armory is finally coming in. Obviously his 2-2 is very delayed. His 1-1 was way ahead. Now Zerg's ahead on the upgrades. He's got to start that 2-2 sooner rather than later. It's creating an annoying position up here, off creep behind the minerals. Solar's drone getting picked off. We've got a drop on the right side. Oh, a snipe on that hatch would be so powerful right now. Solar not ready for this. Hatchery gets killed, not cancelled. Up in the top left at the same time, Marines come in. Oh, he gets every Overlord from that left base. So many units going down. Tanks getting some killer shots off as well. Taking out a few Banelings and Zerglings. Marine drop in the main. Bunny is all over it right now. That is the face of a killer. I'm not even watching the game, guys. I'm going to follow this medevac for a second. I want to stare at Bunny's face on that camera feed. That man, look at his mouth. He's got like a little bit of a murderous twist to his mouth. He's just like, I am here to multi-prong and destroy you. And he's looking very focused. He's looking very on point. The one big criticism we have is he's chucking a Clem. I'm sorry, Clem. I love you. You're a fantastic player. But forgetting upgrades, definitely something he's done a few times recently. And the lack of 2-2 could really bite him in the butt. When you're playing Marines versus Ling Bane with a double upgrade disadvantage, that's going to be a huge problem. Ling Bane coming in from 2 sides right now. A few Queens go down, but only 8 Marines get saved on the right. On the left, the almost entire army gets cleaned up. Solar getting some good engagements. Remember, he's got 2 Vipers. He's got Adrenal on the way. And with 2-2 about to kick in the next 30 seconds, that's going to be massive. But you cannot afford to lose a hatchery again. Oh! Solar's got to be moulding at this. He's taking a bit too much there. Oh! Big Widow Mine smears the Zerglings across the ground, leaving nothing but a bloody trail where once an army of Zerglings lay. 22 of them do fall. Marines in the main base. Gonna take out a bunch of stuff. Over on the left, he cancels another hatchery. He's redropping on the right. This is a disaster. Solar is not splitting his army enough, and he's getting outplayed. He's gonna have to really take a deep breath after this game. Bunny is everywhere all at once. Double parasitic bomb goes down, but damage does not stack on that bad boy, and he's gonna lose a Viper as well. Bunny has just absolutely run him over now. Marines and Marauders even killing drones in the 3rd base. Random. The 2 Banshees. I talked about how Banshees are really bad because that, you know, you lose them. They don't recycle that well if you're a noob. Well, Bunny's pretty good at StarCraft. They have a lot of kills. He's still using them to defend when he needs, to come forward and support the attack when he needs. Finally, that medevac gets cleared up, but Solar has nothing but 30 Banelings, 77 Zerglings, a single Viper. 2-2 finally gets remembered for Bunny. Several minutes of cooldown on that. You know what? It might seem like a massive oversight, and it is, but Bunny had bigger priorities, and that was keeping his foot on the throat of the Zerg and giving Solar no chance to breathe. Oh, a big boom lands, and Solar is forced to tap out of map 1. His map pick, Bunny, with an excellent victory in the first game. All right, guys, a rough start to the series, man. He just got the momentum taken away from him, and that game slipped away real fast. We got Onside Gaming Solar on the bottom right side, Bunny in the top left. Looking fantastic in game one. Can he keep that momentum up? That push, I didn't expect it to go as well as it did. But maybe Solar just needed to flank in and really crush the push a little bit earlier. I think that would have been the ideal way to deal with it. Bunny cut a lot to go for it. It was kind of funny because it looked identical when you're scouting to like a normal build. But then at the point where you maybe cut just a little bit of marine production, start a 4th command center, get a 2nd factory, he's like, no. I just like have no breaks in my marine production at all. It is just a massive parade. The tanks rallied, the Banshees came out as well. And it looked pretty darn good. Solar didn't really try anything special. And I know a lot of players will say, okay, so you should probably try to catch Bunny off guard. That's not Solar's MO. Solar is a defensive ZvT player. In Zerg vs. Zerg, yeah, he'll try and kill your ZVP, get you in the mid game for sure. But against Terran, Solar is like, he just plays the most standard, solid, reactive style. You know, kind of like how Serral used to play. Serral, a bit more of a specialist lately in this matchup, playing his weird, fast tech build of 15-15, where he goes fast lair and rushes ultras or does quick roach pushes or fast muta surprises. Solar's actually the guy who's like, I will just lock horns with you, front on, defensive play. You can clear my creep, but you will not clear my bases and my drones. Obviously, it didn't go according to plan last game. Lots of drones, lots of hatcheries got sniped, but that is also altitude. This map's actually a bit more contained. Now, funnily enough, this is a Zerg map according to most Zerg players, and yet Bunny has picked it versus Solar. Early in the season, I thought this was a great map for Terran because it's a short rush distance, but once you get to 5 bases, it's really bad for Terran. Because you get to your 4 bases, where do you take your 5th? Once it's up here, guess what? That 3rd base gets very exposed on the bottom. If you take this base, it sticks out like a sore thumb. It's very hard in those middle stages to really deal with a swarming Zerg. And that's why it's become a favorite pick of Raynor, Serral. A lot of the players are picking this map now. Good defensive positioning, but Bunny goes up, he goes down, he goes back up. Turns around, and his Reaper did not die this game, so a much better start than the last one. He also forced a bit of Spore Tricks and the like. Second gas on the way here for Bunny. This is a 3-racks build, by the way, guys. I probably should have pointed that out. He did go very standard opening into a 2nd and 3rd barracks. The Overlord was not able to scout what was going on. He's got a Marine down there, making sure no Overlord gets in and sees what he's up to. Link speed, 3 more queens on the way. Now, if you know about this, often players will get an earlier Baneling Nest as needed, and they'll build off about 40 to 50 drones. They'll go for a big mass of about 40 Zerglings, maybe make a few Banelings, and defend with that. They'll also pull back any of these Overlords and either put them on high ground pillars, these little pervert pillars that are around, or somewhere else. By the way, there's a little Moopy there. You guys see that? I see the head of a Moopy. Can we see it on the other side? Oh, there's a little Moopy house on top of the pervert pillar. Who knew? Alright, that Zergling does get picked off. And obviously at this point, you haven't seen any Hellions. You saw 3 Marines. You have to assume that if it's not a 3-racks, it's like a 2-1-1 or something like that. There's some sort of Marine push coming. Zergling keeps coming forward, but he sees the Reaper. Notice he's hiding from the Reaper. The Reaper's like, where are the Zerglings? I must deny scouting. The Link sneaks up. The Reaper does spot it. Link's just going to circle. Probably wants to kill that Reaper and then spot any Marines coming his way. Building 2 more drones. Solar's going to 53 workers. Let's go to Solar's vision right now. Oh yeah, he sees a lot of Marines, and he's got plenty of supply free. Notice how Solar, even though he didn't want to build Zerglings till he saw the move out, he built extra Overlords. So the moment he saw the Marines, he could build 20 Zerglings and still have 20 free supply. This is what we call preparing your production to be flexible as a Zerg player, where you pump out extra Overlords. So once you see what you're reacting to, you can react with all drones or all army, not having to worry about the Overlords because they're pre-built. Those Overlords are going to get caught on the left if he doesn't watch out. Marines go after the Queens. They get 1. The Lings come in from the right side, but you don't really want to chase into that ball of Marines. Bit of a nasty trade for Solar so far. See, 8 units going down, 7 Marines, 1 Reaper. But if he's not willing to stim again, he could get chased down. He's going to have to stim just to secure his escape. He's going to try and grab a Queen there. You don't want to go too deep on creep. Good turnaround for Solar. Starting to take out a lot of those low hit point Marines, and very well defended. 1-1 upgrades on the way for Solar. A lair behind it. And the third command center is finishing for Bunny, but all things considered, a very successful hold. The Lings are going across. He sees that there's a Marine rally. Very greedy play by Bunny to rally across the map. And if there's one thing I've noticed about Bunny, is he does seem a little bit more addicted to F2 than most other top Terrans right now. And oh my lord, great surround by Solar. Great surround. Oh, that is massive. Oh, they'll talk about this battle. Oh my gosh, for years. And the Moopy, look at him. He's on mushrooms. He's not even looking in that direction. He's just watching the Fireflies going, oh man, what's happening, dude? It's like, dude, there is like a literal butchering field there. Bunny's army are going to be talking about that for a while, man. That's going to be like a famous battlefield that they're kind of fearful of ever repeating. It's a warning to the other Terrans. Don't go out there without combat shields and medevac support, mate. Pushing into Zerg territory without medevacs, and you will bring a desire for the Zerg to try and surround you and crush you before you get home. 1-1 in Baneling speed is on the way for Solar. He's on 62 workers right now versus 52 SCVs of Terran. I actually feel like he could even be greedier. Like, he's massing Ling Bane right now. And I feel like if you're going to bother doing that, I want to see you be aggressive. Don't even drone up. Just go for a giant 1-1 Ling Bane timing once Baneling speed's finished. Like, these Marine drops just defend for the next minute, and when Baneling speed kicks in, just go for a giant Ling Bane attack. He's going to have... Well, he's actually got a very good tank position. If he keeps his tanks in safe positions, Bunny should be safe against that sort of move. But, I mean, even then, you can blow the wall up with Banelings and get inside. I like how well Solar is clearing these rocks, man. He's already cleared the rocks in front of his fourth base. Or third base, I should say. Now breaking these rocks on the right side. So many games we see these rocks up all game long. Still making a mixture of Lings, Banes, and drones. Don't get me wrong, Solar's ahead. I just kind of feel like he could just straight up kill him. But with the tanks on the high ground like this, easier said than done. Attacking up that ramp with speed Banes into 2-3 tanks, not the best move. So Solar's just playing it safe right now. He's definitely ahead in this game. 4 Marines do pick up. They're going to rotate into the natural. They will see the infestation pit. Very important. Tells you that the hive can't start for at least another 20 seconds, which means you're going to be dealing with a hive finishing at about 9 minutes 30, assuming Solar goes straight for it. And that gives you kind of an idea. Okay, Vipers with energy are going to be hitting me about 10:25, 10:30. You know, Ultras or Lurkers about 11 minutes. It gives you a kind of idea in your head as Bunny. If I want to hit a timing, and I want to hit before those things kick in, I know exactly when I have to do it. A few drones get picked off. Banelings get a little hit on the Marines, but not too bad. Bunny focuses down one more Baneling before picking up and get out of there. This drop picks up from the high ground to the low ground. Dripping droppy all day, all night. The Queen's going to take it out, though. Getting very low. 14 hit points. Medevac gets out. These 4 Marines on the top still being a nuisance. I like that Bunny, even with handfuls of Marines, he doesn't go back. He's like, no, we're keeping up momentum. We're keeping you busy. Even just a few Marines forces a reaction, and that's all we need. Hive is on the way right now. Ooh, Medevac does get shot down. Nice Queen placement there for Solar. He's on 11 Queens, 103 Zerglings, about to be 27 Banelings. Marine tank pushing the south. Guys, there's no 2-2. Did he not even build an armory? He literally didn't even build an armory. It's just an 8 racks. No add-ons on the last 3 barracks, guys. These barracks are just pumping Marines as much as he can. It is a giant 8 racks all in. Solar's up on 75 drones. He's making 2 more drones, but he's cleaning up medevacs and Marines, which is good, but I don't think he realizes what's happening. It's the classic Zerg is so busy defending all game, they're not scouting. He's like, I'll take a 6th base. Let's do that. But he's about to realize there is a giant army on his doorstep, and so far, he doesn't seem to have any idea. I like the Ling Bane splitting in just a few units going forward, but he should definitely be prepared to give this base up and go for a big old backstab rather than engaging front on. You just want to buy time, wait for Vipers. 2-2s kicking in. So once again, playing 1-1 versus 2-2, but this time Solar's had a good start. Liberators there and Siege Tanks defending. Wow, Bunny very well prepared for the backstab. And he's got a pretty... It's actually not that big an army on the front. This army could absolutely get cleaned up if Solar pounces on it. Solar's going to go for a bit of a surround attempt here. Lingbane comes in on the reinforce. Oh my god. Oh my god. Bunny's positioning is insane. He's all off creep right now. Down here to the right, we do see the tanks survive as well, pushing him back. The Lingbane does run forward. Bunny was trying to do a bit of a 360 Marine surround there. He was going to flank the flanker, hunt the hunter. But it felt like there was just a bit too much Ling Bane. It's a bit too hard to spread in 3 directions at once the way Bunny was trying to make that happen, man. Marine tank trying to do what they can. Lingbane dancing around. Solar's looking for an angle. He does not have 3-3 or adrenal glands on the way. Solar's max though, so it's time to start squeezing those upgrades in. He's already got a big upgrade advantage. He can take it even further if he gets those. Double drop in the south does pull back. Looks like it was a fake drop. I think he sent fake empty medevacs to the main, but Solar did not bite. Adrenal gland starts up. The Viper gathering some energy right now. It's going to have a couple blinding clouds available. There is zero continuation on this build for Bunny, guys. He is 1-1 or die trying. +3 Carapace has started, and +3 Carapace Lingbane will ruin his Marines so incredibly hard. Solar is very similar in army supply and up 16 workers and 2 or 3 bases. Queens are starting to take some damage, but doesn't get rid of all of them. Very important to survive there. Hydrodens on the way as well. Solar, of course, doesn't have a lot of anti-air. Doesn't want to keep building Queens all game. Queens will come forward. The Lingbane over there does take a shot. I wouldn't mind him continuing to go for the rally point in the third. I was saying Bunny seems to F2 a lot before, but, you know, every time when counterattack hits him, he's ready for it. So up to this point, any criticism of he seems to clump his army too much seems to be ill-founded. Mass Lingbane comes in, though. The blinding clouds are excellent. Excellent blinding clouds. The Marines are spreading back, but it feels like a bit too much of a good Zerg fight there. A lot of those units do go down. Does keep a tank in the high ground and a few libs. Units lost up. About 2,000 resources ahead for Bunny. That's okay for Solar as long as he can keep remaxing. You just got to be a little careful because, I mean, yeah, you're on 2-2 versus 1. You just can't keep letting these units rally across the map. That's the big problem right now. Finally. There we go. Great move for him. I apologize for the Korean server being a little laggy today, guys. It was great yesterday, but today it's a little bit dodge. Ling's going for a big old surround on everything. Looking great, man. Amazing damage with those Zerglings. But the wall does raise. The SCV's trapped, spazzing out behind the mineral line there. The Lings are going to get a lot of kills. And I think this is worth it for Solar because anything that buys you time is going to be great. Unfortunately, no burrow for him. Kind of been working on a budget for most of this game, and oh no, the SCVs tried to get out of there. The Lings find them. The medevacs actually keep most of them alive. Well done, medevacs, keeping those SCVs alive for just a little bit longer. Main base floats down to the 4th to prolong this 1-1 all in, but +3 Carapace is about to finish, and when that finishes in 30 seconds, that's when these Marines are going to be sad, boys, because when you're doing 7 damage a shot versus a 3 armor Zergling or Baneling, my lord, that is nasty. Solar's still up in army supply. He's building a second Viper to join up with the first one. He's also got a few Hydras coming in now as well. They don't have any upgrades yet other than armor, but that's okay. Hatchery in the bottom is going to go down. I don't think Solar cares at all. He's still on 5 bases with a 6th base, actually, that's just finished up top. Ling's going for a counterattack one more time. Bunny with his pants down around his ankles, and Solar, not one to stand on ceremony. He dives in and starts stabbing. He doesn't care if he caught you on the dunny. He will absolutely take advantage. Ling's are going to run to the right as well. What a beautiful attack here once again. Ruining Bunny. The command center burns down there. It gets torn down by those Zerglings. No lift. Marines in the middle of the map getting caught as well. And with +3 Carapace here, this is not a fair fight. Lingbane is so powerful with this upgrade advantage. Bunny is going to try and fantasy this game out, guys. Fantasy, one of the most famous stayers in the game of all time. But, Bunny's going to need a true miracle to make this happen. I mean, libs and tanks are good, but you got 2 Vipers for Abduction, Blinding Clouds, 10 Hydras, 51 Banelings. I mean, he's almost got a Ragnarok of Banelings. For those who don't know, Ragnarok, not only a good Korean player, also pretty sure that's like the final battle, you know, between like the dwarves and the giants and the Vikings and everyone. It's the thing that ends you. That's why Ragnarok's name is well made, because when that man makes 80 Banelings, you're pretty dead as a Terran player. And right now, Solar has a giant upgrade. He has a Ragnarok of Banelings. He has Vipers stacked up, juiced up on energy. The medevac count is absolutely insane, 12 medevacs. But hold on, he's going for it. Watch out. Oh, one of the Vipers, I think, got picked off. He still gets a decent Blinding Cloud. Hydra's taking out the libs. Ling's clearing everything else. And that was an absolute destruction. Well earned there by Solar, building advantage upon advantage to himself. Bunny kept digging for mistakes in this game, trying to catch Solar kind of like not ready for the next wave and get that one perfect fight with the right positioning. But there's a point where the upgrade advantage is not enough. Once again, going for the fake Doom Drop. I love that Bunny uses this move so much more than other people. It kind of reminds me of the whole story of Hero Marine when he won a really big series at Katowice when he got top 4 in the World Championship. And one of the games he won with an empty medevac fake Widowmine drop build. that scouted and just forced a big reaction without actually having anything inside it. And it was a Twitch chat suggestion. The strategy came from a Gold League player in Twitch chat who said, shouldn't this be a good build? And Hero Marine, in the midst of insulting it, decided to try it out and was like, hey, that actually worked. I'm going to do that again. Lingbane coming in here. The perfect positioning is not going to be found here. The Lingbane Hydra will roll forward, and there is just way too much stuff. Solar overwhelming very nicely, and he will tie up the series. So both players winning on their opponent's map picks. It's tied up 1-1. All right, guys and girls, ladies and gents, Zealots, Zerglings, and Marines, we've got ourselves a series on our hands. He got kind of the floor wiped with him in game 1, but game 2, he fought back and looked excellent. Solar in the top right side, Bunny in the bottom left, and whoa, what? 3 racks Reaper. My man's bringing out the 2v2 strategies right now. That second depot is just a little bit late slowing down that Reaper, but that's all right. This is a highly aggressive strategy. The funny thing is, it's kind of hidden. He's not going to realize straight away because he doesn't see the wall off, so Solar might not start Ling Speed here, and oh, he's pulled off gas. Does he start Ling Speed? You really want to start Ling Speed right now, mate. He does start Ling Speed before third base. That's good for Solar. Solar hasn't lost any units yet. As I say it, a Zergling does get popped. And the Overlord comes in and sees no command center, and immediately Solar is like, what is going on right now? He starts more Zerglings. He's very worried about what is happening. Sees the second Reaper and realizes, okay, this is a little bit more aggressive. More Reapers rallying in. Seeing an SCV on the natural ready to take an expansion, Solar's aware that something's happening, but he's actually building so many Zerglings, and this is already successful for Bunny just by scaring the heck out of him. Because notice Solar's only on 21 drones. If he was up on 24 drones, you know, something like that, it'd be a bit more comfortable. He's popping 2 more workers out. He is squeezing a third hatchery in, to be fair. The Reapers haven't done a crazy amount of direct damage. I mean, a single Zergling, definitely not a crazy amount of damage. Looking for their second Zergling kill. Awesome drones right now. Pretty good micro by Solar. Ling Speed's not done yet, and it's very good to force these fights right now when Ling Speed's not here. Oh no, Queen's gonna go down. Zergling's starting to get one shot as well, and that's always a problem. Once your Zerglings start getting one shot, that is really painful. 5 Zerglings, a drone, and a Queen have fallen. Command center's on the way, and he's still building more Reapers. These look like the last 2 as a reactor is on the way. Third hatchery's up. Interestingly, the 9 Reapers are just grouping up for now. 23 Zerglings is not really enough to kill 9 Reapers on their own, so he's going to go for 8 more. It's going to be 31 Zerglings. With a good surround, they can do it. But this is actually 11 Reapers, man. I feel like 11 Reapers beats 30 Zerglings, to be honest. Unless you can really catch him off with a perfect surround. This is going to be very crazy. No denial on the third base. I think he was worried about Ling Speed, but I think he definitely could have got a bunch of damage on it if he hung around. We'll see how this goes. Command center is finished. Orbital is making. Solar's still massing Zerglings, guys. Solar is not mining gas. He just runs in with his Zerglings. He's going to try and go for a bit of a wraparound. Oh, those 4 Reapers are in trubs right now. 4 Reapers out front die. The SCVs are exposed. Oh, God. Okay, he's pulling onto the ramp. Pulling onto the ramp right now. The Reapers, the Marines trying to pull back. The SCVs kind of fighting as well. Good fight for Solar. Doesn't get too many workers, but he gets 1 and a bunch of the Reapers. Whew. Droning behind it. 3 hatcheries up. 3 Queens injecting. 5 Queens out in total. He's already got 4 active tumors at the front. 1 in the main. And now an active tumor at the third. Solar is large and in charge. He's completely in control of this game right now. Bunny kind of went for broke with a bit of a crazy opening of the 3 racks Reaper, and he did not find enough damage. Stim and Shields is on the way. They're actually going to be done very soon, and he's building 6 Marines at a time. What is this? 2 base 5 racks. Whoa, that is a crazy Marine count. Bunny is just trying to kill right now. He's making a factory, but let's be real. There ain't much of a transition behind this. 5 barracks without even having an engineering bay? Like, what in the world? That's a crazy build, man. I almost wish he stayed 1 gas. Notice he's got 400 gas there. He's not really using. Single engineering bay does go down. He'll start using it once he goes into medevacs. Some Lings are going to backstab. Right now, 48 drones versus 36 SCVs. Solar needs to get down here. He's going to intercept the rally point to start. He did lose an Overlord there, but look at this. 4 Marines in the open. Solar's third base. Yeah, it's a little exposed. But if you stim on top, the Lings will come in. There's not that many Lings, though. Drone's trying to run away. The rest of the Lings coming home. They already cleaned up the Marine rally. Bunny has been caught rallying units across the map multiple times in this series. Bunny is a wildly aggressive player, man. And it's not paying off in this game. It is not paying off. The fact that he's always got units rallied across the map is so bizarre to me. It reminds me of, 2013, 2014 kind of days when the Terrans, a lot of them were just kind of in your face, YOLO, like just all timing attacks and all ins. And it's funny because I know that Bunny's an aggressive player, but I always think of him as a multi-prong guy. But he's hitting such sharp timing attacks today that he's more of a front-on, in-your-face kill you guy. He sees the Baneling Morph. Oh, lordy lord, McLord lord. Oh, no. He saw the Banelings, didn't he? Well, I guess he just has to ball up and stim and focus fire. Oh, maybe he didn't notice the Baneling Morph. Oh, no, the wall is down. Oh, the Baneling's getting on top. He accidentally raised the depot on the high ground. The depot's letting the Banelings in. And that is a disaster. Nice stutter set focus fire for Bunny, but it's too little too late. And Solar takes a 2-1 lead. All right, guys. Bunny looked a little glum here on the camera at the start of this game. Solar in the bottom left side of the map as well. And we'll see if he can get it together. I mean, he tried to go very, very just in-your-face aggressive, and I think he needs to get Solar's respect in a macro game. But he's sticking with a non-factory. But okay, that's interesting. I actually thought he played a great game on altitude with the Alien Banshee. But he's gone reactor before factory. He's playing a 3 command center bio build. Oh my. 3 command center into 3 racks. Okay. Super greedy. I do think Solar's become an expert at defending this. So many Terrans have been doing these heavy barracks plays recently. And it's actually a really big problem when Zergs get used to what they're seeing. I really liked what Rainer was doing playing Protoss versus Solar with the single Stargate carrier opening. I was saying, look, it's a bit of a weird opening. What makes it so powerful is the Zergs look at it and don't know what to think because no one does it. But the moment a Zerg can really identify what you're doing, understand it, recognize it, counter it, that's when things get bad. So definitely denying the Overlord's going to be key here for Bunny. And just making sure his rally doesn't get intercepted too much. He did really well, I think, in Game 1 and even Game 2 at not letting his rally get intercepted by Zerglings. But that last game, multiple times, the Lings were on top of him. And I think Solar's getting a better and better read on when he can kind of veer around the army, cut off the reinforcements, and get free unit pickoffs and really mess up that reinforcement. 3rd barracks on the way. Bunny dropping mules, pumping SCVs, all off that one delayed gas geyser. Solar needs more overlords, more drones. 3rd base is on the way as well. More queens are building. It's going to go up to at least 5 queens for now, but no real scouting for Solar available. 1 Marine on its own can't really deflect scouting. On the other hand, I feel like, yeah, Solar, okay, he's building a few Lings now, but I guess he's just waiting for Ling speed before he starts scouting. He's checking right now for proxies. Good on him, dotting his I's, crossing his T's, making sure there is no sneaky BS going on. Proxy starport does come down on this map occasionally. You'll see proxy starport Hellions drive across, load up into that medevac, and unload in the dark corner of the main. Speaking of which, where's Solar's Overlords? Because he's missing vision on this left side of his main base right now. Looks like this Overlord's going to fill that gap. Good on him. Zergling gets cleaned up, but at this point, Solar is aware this is definitely a heavy Marine style. Now, the risk here for Solar is he assumes this is 3 barracks without the 3rd command center. And so Bunny's job here is to pretend he's doing a big Marine push, scare Solar, get Solar to build a lot of Zerglings, a lot of fighting units, and do well that way. Oh, I like that. The Lings cut him off from getting home, so he wedges those units in a bit of a corner. Going to come out and join up with them now, try and scare the Lings back. Solar's doing a good job of reading this as a defensive play. Notice he's droning to 54 workers. That's a very high economy. If this was a 2-base 3 racks, I feel like that's very greedy. He's going to go double upgrades as well. Solar is so confident right now. He's really getting his feet underneath him, stabilized, solid base. I feel like he's kind of, you know that thing that like, you can't push me over if my base is solid. Bunny's going to have to try and throw him off balance a little bit. Maybe get a judo throw on him or something like that. The Marines are posturing forward. Solar's starting to make Zerglings now, and a lot of them. But he did it off such a nice economy of 54 workers that I think this is a perfectly fine hold for Solar. If Bunny gets a few good trades, yeah, he'd be okay, but lots of energy on those queens. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 transfuses available right now, and there'll be more in just a few seconds' time. Ling's getting ready for the reinforce, and once again, Free Marines rallying across the map, but oh, Solar's coming in from 2 sides. Lings with a decent wraparound. There we go. Beautiful surround. That is an amazing fight for Solar. He was so greedy initially, And then he just overwhelms, and there's Marines rallying across the map as well. Man, Solar is all over this series, and Bunny does not look happy. Glum is absolutely the word for that facial expression. But definitely, you know, with these Marine styles, you have to be so careful to not get surrounded and killed. And I love when a Zerg overcommits to Zerglings, gets that big surround, gets a good fight, and then drones up really hard behind it. Solar's just way ahead now. And honestly, he's going to spiral out of control. And that's always been the big weakness of the skipping the Hellions. Because without the Hellions, you don't have the mobility. You don't have the ability to deal with those Zerglings as well. Especially once the Zergs figured it out. The thing is, there was just no pressure, right? Solar felt so confident going 54 drones because his handful of Zerglings saw no Marines moving out. There was like 1 Reaper, 2 Marines clearing scouting. And the Zerg gets too much information with this style. You get too little, they get too much. There's no way for Bunny to confirm if they're massing army or workers unless he scans. That's the weakness of Mass Marine. We want to open up with the Hellions first and foremost, and we're starting to see the Zergs getting so good at showing us why. Ooh, bit of miss micro for Bunny. That's unfortunate. Solar getting way ahead in this game right now. I do expect there to be a meta shift away from these heavy barracks openings, even amongst Maru, you know, the best Terran in the world. I do expect him to move away from it and start doing more Hellion openings and those sort of things again. I think it's been overplayed a little bit, the 3 barracks variations. That's just my feeling. Obviously, everything is execution based in StarCraft, so... Is he doing another 1-1 all-in? Guys, there's no armory again. He's doing another 1-1 bio tank all-in off 8 racks, but after losing all those units earlier, it's like the worst possible scenario for this sort of push. That being said, maybe Solar gets overconfident and builds too many drones. That's what you're hoping for as a Bunny fan. Ooh, good focus fire on the Banelings. Bunny, nice focus fire there. Drop in the back of the natural. Unfortunately, gets focused down. The drones pull back. 4 drones, it'd be good if he saved the Marines, but losing the Marines in the medevacs. This is all about tempo, it's about momentum, it's about army supply, and he's only got about 1.5 minutes until 2-2 finishes for Zerg, so his window is going to be closing, guys. I have a feeling Bunny is much like the girl in Knocked Up when she doesn't get her epidural in time, and they're going to say the window is closed, and I feel like Bunny's going to scream, "Break the effing window!" In a sort of pregnant fit of rage, or childbirthing fit of rage, I guess you should call it. He's still got a window. He's got a good army supply, but he can't throw any units away. This has to be picture perfect for Bunny from here. Don't get me wrong. These sort of attacks can definitely spiral out of control for the Zerg. There's more drones building. There's an infestation pit. Those things will take a while to kick off. And look at that. He distracts in the main. Marines come in, but they only get 1 or 2 drones. Not as effective as I thought it would be. Good focus fire on the Banelings, though. That was slick. Redrops on the low ground as well. Bunny's getting a bit of momentum. Picks up and drops here. Oh, don't throw the units away, though. They're all so low. A few Marines do go down. And looks like the Queen's focused down one of the medevacs on the left. But the army's about to push, guys. He does need to clear the creep. The creep is pretty far forward. I'd like to see him push directly south there. The drop in the back causing some chaos. He can't be losing all these units. Does save a few of the Marines. He will continue the aggression in the back of the main and the natural. The Marines in a giant ball on the front. But the creep is ever so scary. And you know what? Solar's got 2-2, guys. He's got 2-2 now. It's finished. The double upgrade advantage kicking in 3, 2, 1. And he's going for it. Equal army supply, overwhelming upgrade advantage. The Marines, all a little damage from Stim. Most of the medevacs with the drops, they're not over here. There are more tanks and Marines coming from the right side. But the front row of tanks and Marines gets cleaned up. But at the same time, drop comes in the back on 2 bases at once. Great play there by Bunny to keep the action going. Redropping in the main. It's multitasking all day, all night. We saw what Bunny did in game 1 off a good start. He has not had a good start, though, since that first game. And that's why he's struggling right now, because he's trying to get the action going. But Solar has the better tools. He's got the better upgrades right now. He's going to roll over the Marine tank on 2 or 3 sides. The Marines are falling right now. The 2-2 Zerglings so powerful, and they clean the tanks up so quickly. We've got on the bottom side, all the Marines got cleared up on the top. A few get saved by a hot pickup. There's no tanks left. The attack has been held, and this just did not have the momentum behind it that Bunny needed. Bunny's style that he's playing today is very hit or miss. It is in your face, it is aggressive, and as a result, if things start to go wrong, well, the next fight really needs to go just right for it to work. Otherwise, it's a slippery slope because there is no defender's advantage. There are none of the inherent advantages of defending behind a wall off or behind a planetary, setting up a good tank position. He does not have that. And as a result, he needs perfect aggressive engagement. Solar is not letting that happen. He's been very good at choosing when and where to fight, always paying attention to the Zergling backstabs, keeping his injects up, spreading creep on all the different paths. Look at this. The focus has been on the left. He finally got a hatchery kill, did Bunny. Solar doesn't care. He's got so much creep on the right side. Queens. Ooh, parasitic bombs on those medevacs would be nice. That medevac can survive a parasitic bomb with only a few hit points left over. Vipers do need to throw that. Lings go for a bit of a backstab, but the Marines tanks deal with it. Vipers did not drop a parasitic bomb. Armory is finally on the way. He's going to try and make 2-2 this game eventually, but he's not building more command centers. Bunny's just going to keep lifting bases out and trying to max on the same sort of army of Marine tank lib, looking for that perfect fight. Solar has not started +3 carapace this game, so he doesn't have that timer on his opponent. He does have the money for it, so I do wish he'd start it. Still just making Ling Bane for now. Lings do chase the Marines back on the left. On the right side, creep is starting to get cleared up here as we speak. This feels like a very, very dominant position for Solar, and I really feel he's in his comfort zone. Solar does not get tired in long macro games. He just overwhelms the tank on the door. The tank, oh, barely gets the depot up. Bunny, even here in a very high pressure situation, that's where a lot of players have problems getting it up. But he says, no, high pressure is every day for me. I'm a Terran player. And he does deal with it as well as he can. The Zerglings in that mineral line, though. Oh, God, the Marines need to defend it. He lets the tank in his wall off. Oh, no. Tank's going to go down as well as 7 SCVs. At the same time on the right side, blinding cloud coming in. A lot of the Marines got forced back. No one defending these units. A couple of tanks get picked off and a tactical withdrawal by Solar. Dropping the main base, still just hanging around over there, or out on the low ground below the main, I should say. Hydra upgrades are here as well. This is fantastic. As a casual observer, why aren't Hellbats mixed in? That's a great question. We actually hear quite a lot. There was a time in Heart of the Swarm when Flash tried to make it happen, and it always looked very good until it didn't. It falls off really hard when there's a critical mass of Banelings, because the Hellbats tend to clump up a little bit. Even when you spread them out, the Banelings just clear them so quickly, and they don't have the big explosive range or splash damage of tanks or mines. So they're nice to mix in the ultra late game, only once you've got Blue Flame and +3. For now, Bunny's actually getting a little bit of damage in a few places, but it's coming at the cost of everything behind this. The SCVs get completely cleared in the third and the natural. There's a few Marines around, a couple of veterans. Doesn't matter if each one's Arnold Schwarzenegger from Commando, man. He could have a bazooka on each shoulder, a minigun that never needs to get reloaded, and a grenade that does a nuclear explosion. It doesn't matter. These Marines will not come back from this deficit. This is the defense of the capital city in the Heart of the Swarm cinematic at this point. The only thing missing is one landed Viking hero and an Ultralist charging towards it, but numbers-wise, it's a similar sort of battle. I guess we're also missing a battlecruiser getting abducted from orbit into the surface of the planet. Good stuff. People balance winding in chat. Guys, Solar is clearly outplaying Bunny right now. If you want to balance wind, get out. I've already said it many times, guys. No balance winding in my chat. That is a set rule. If you guys have serious questions, want to understand the game, go for it. But for now, Solar is simply miles ahead. Do not analyze a StarCraft game when you watch a player who's miles ahead. You can look at, World War II and say the Finnish military is so unfair. How did Russia win? Russia had a lot more stuff, guys. They had a lot more stuff. And that generally is how it goes. Solar wrecked the early game. Remember that first surround over here? Absolutely astounding. That was massive. You cannot let that happen. Your first move out with Marines is the most dangerous part of the game when you play this style. And he got that first surround annihilated by a big Ling surround. And this is essentially a game-losing moment right here. Because he's at even economy. If he keeps the Marines alive, pulls back, goes back, defends, he can play it out, but it is naturally a high-risk style when you skip Hellions because you do not have the vision with the Marines. That is the price Bunny paid, and he got punished. All right, up here in the top left side, we've got Solar, large and in charge, and I do think his opponent needs to mix it up. He's been very focused on the 1-1 aggression. His opening did mix up in that last game, don't get me wrong, but in the mid-game, definitely so many 1-1 8-racks all-ins. And so far, Bunny's just lacking a good start. I like that he's changing it up with the Command Center first now. He was so powerful with Command Center first into really crisp 2-base timings. Maybe a 3-base timing might be the way to do it. We're going to see what Bunny does. One thing we've got to consider here as well is he hasn't played Biomine even once. Something I always talk about when Solar plays against Maru is that when Maru plays kind of crazy aggression, Solar slaps it down and tends to beat Maru. And then when Maru swaps into playing just very greedy into Biomine, like, okay, I've got the fastest third base ever, now I just swarm you with Biomine from all sides, Solar tends to do much less well against that, you know, and it really gets him kind of second-guessing himself and sometimes tripping over his own feet a little bit. So I would like to see Bunny mix in Widow Mines. On the other hand, we're playing Gressven, and players love shoving up this path with siege tanks for very good reason. They're so good, especially since the Zergs love taking this base and giving the Terran a 2-for-1 combo deal. You know, it's it kind of upsets me that they do that, to be fair. I really feel like you should be like third here and then maybe fourth there or fifth there, but I just think this base is absolute garbage. That's the one base I absolutely hate, and almost every Zerg player just loves going for it. You don't want to be given in that two-piece in a soda, man. Factory's on the way here. Interesting, guys. So he's actually going to be going Hellion Banshee by the look. Oh, Hellion opening. I do think it'll be Hellion Banshee. That was what he loved doing to two-base attacks and big all-ins. If we think of like Light Shade and a few of those. Wait, was that Light Shade? Was that no, Inside Out, the Blizzard office burning in the middle of the map. Inside Out, I believe, is the name of that map. He was really good on that map with the two-base timing. Zergling does come in. Barracks and Factory will swap over. Great scout for Solar. Knows it's a CC first into a starport. So that's already nice. He's not worried at all about those marine pressures this game. Third command center on location, my lord. Oh my lord. So it seems like Bunny has picked his lane, guys. It's Omega Greed into really aggressive low upgrade momentum style. Let's see if he adds 2-2 this time around. Bunny might just be deciding the best way to kill Zerg is just 1-1 or die trying, man. Don't go to 2-2. Get more units and go kill him. Solar is building a Roach Warren, though. He's going to play Roaches, a great style to defend a lot of all-ins from the opponent. Not as good, though, against a super greedy opening necessarily at punishing them. Viking on the way as well, which is going to be really good. Solar is not that high on workers right now. He's building a few Zerglings. If he builds a few Overlords right now, then we know he might go for something aggressive. Oh, he's building 3 more Overlords. Oh my gosh. Solar's going to go for it, man. Solar's just going to go for a Ravager Ling, and that should be a free win. It's a checkmate. It's literally a checkmate versus build order. He doesn't even know that there's a third command center, but there is. There's a Viking, no Banshee. Third command center. This is over. Solar having an amazing read, and he says, look, this is a great map for Terran aggression off 3 bases. I don't really want to play against that in a standard game. Let's see if I can catch him off guard. And Solar, as standard and defensive as he is, he will mix in an all-in a best of 5. And it's usually a Bane Bust. This time it's an old-school Ravager Ling attack that's going to hit not very early, but it's going to hit with a proper walloping, mate. 9 Roaches. No, the Hellion needs to go back forward. But honestly, guys, double barracks on the way. He's building a siege tank. Oh, man, he's just got so few units. A few Hellions and a Viking. He's got nothing, man. Viking finds the Overlord. The Overlord's like, quick, go north so that he doesn't see what's happening. The Hellion sees the Roaches, but I don't think he's even noticed. Oh, my lord. He's absolutely screwed. He's building gases right now. His Hellion's exposed at the front. He finally sees what's happening. The Roaches are here. Solar going for a giant all-in. If Bunny holds this, he is a wizard. He will need to pull out his best spells. He's going to need some Expecto Patronum anti-Zerg spell. He needs something super powerful, guys. The siege tank on the high ground actually does keep him alive for now. But you know what? That third base that Solar doesn't know about is actually so good. Because he's still building SCVs out there, or he can be, and dropping mules. Oh my god. He's actually okay right now. And the Viking can clear Overlord, so he can't get high ground vision without running up the ramp. Okay, I definitely called that too early, guys. The siege tank was super early for Bunny. And he's actually okay. He only lost a few depots. That was a big commitment for Solar. Solar's droning well behind it. He's still got a decent transition. I don't think this puts Bunny massively ahead or anything like that, guys, because Solar didn't throw his units away. That's the thing. If Solar tried to go up that ramp, I think Bunny could be actually miles ahead, because then he could counterattack as well with like Hellion Harass. But as it is, Bunny definitely gets away with murder, because that third was built on location in an uncharacteristic location. Yeah, Bunny gets away with some absolute murder. And Solar now going 1-1 Baneley Nest. He's going to swap off the Ravagers into Ling Bane. Whew, that early siege tank. I don't think he had any idea it was coming. I think he just said, okay, I should build a tank for safety. And a good thing he did have that little bit of safety built into an otherwise very greedy build. Bunny's way down in supply, but it is a lot of roaches out and a lot of zerglings. It's not a big worker differential, so I think it's quite okay now. Dropping mules up there on that third base. Does need to keep up the SCV production. He's been missing a little bit of that worker production here and there. Bunny definitely just needs to hit that macro right and tight. Baneling speed on the way for Solar. His fourth base is up, but it's not super duper early. Alien's looking for more creep tumors. Oh man, creep tumor vision is insane. Is it just me, or do you guys think creep tumors should have like 1 or 2 less vision? I guess they can't spread creep to the limit of their vision then, so it would be a pretty big nerf, but I'm just like, how's that thing see so far? Where are its eyeballs, mate? I guess it feels through the creep. Actually, if the explanation is it can feel you stepping on it, right? It's got like nerve fibers and stuff. That actually makes a lot of sense. Damn it. Good lore explanation there. Tanks and Marines trying to do what they can. All right, Bunny's got a siege tank there. The 4th command center coming up pretty early, but interestingly, guys, no second factory. On the other hand, if you're a Bunny fan, get excited. He made an armory, guys. We will not be seeing a 1-1 all-in or die trying. Ooh, and a couple of queens. Catches him off the carpet. Oh, the second one barely gets away. Whoa, 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 Bunny. Oh, man. He saves every single Marine somehow. I'd be tempted to drop a Marine and click it on that queen, but it's going to fly away for it now. Not a bad start to clearing the creep, get a bit of map control. Solar is not dark, so he doesn't go for the random Hail Mary biles, hoping to catch Bunny not looking. Second factory does start up now. No doubt a reactor on that 4th command center going forward. Bunny's got a good economy set up. Only a 73 worker set up for Solar, so he's not ahead. And you can now see the payoff of that early defense for Bunny. Where's the 2-2 though, mate? Bunny, 2-2, please. Bunny, come on, man. Come on. Right from game 1 in this series, 2-2 was forgotten. Game 2 and 3, he purposely skipped it, as well as game 4. Here we go. Game 5, he's finally getting that 2-2. It's a little delayed. Better late than never. Oh, watch out, watch out. Banelings coming in. The SCV is cowering behind the mineral line. The Banelings do get ran past up here, and a lot of them do go down, as well as the Zerglings. Great defense. One Zergling in the mineral line down there. The Drilly Boy says, taste my drill. One SCV tries to 1v1 an Zergling. That was not the smartest unit. Unfortunately for Solar, he F2s the Zergling home, so it doesn't keep wreaking havoc over there. Tanks and Elbats with a lovely spready. This is a beautiful setup right now for Bunny. I actually think Bunny's in a great position in this game. He will not go down without a fight. He will not go quietly into that good night. His name is Bunny. And his name may be cute and adorable, but he fought hard to get here today. Remember, he already did a reversal from down 0-2 earlier today. The man will not give up easily, but Solar attacking around a corner there. Bad positioning for Solar. Does take out a siege tank with Bile. Does get a good Ling run by at the same time. 6 SCV is not bad, but you do not want to be attacking from here to there, guys, because you've got to go around the corner. You want to be in the open, moving south, and then move up and to the right, and that was a big mistake Solar made on the previous engage. But he's buying time very well. Bunny doesn't have any tanks super close, so he's really trying to bait Solar into coming off creep. Solar is not making that mistake. Creep spread down here. We now have a disconnected Schlong for Solar on the bottom side. He does have a little bit of creep elsewhere. He's got another few hatcheries up. But remember the combo deal. If Bunny moves even a little further forward, he gets this base for free with the other expansion right here that he's already trying to pressure. Hive is on the way. 2-2 upgrades getting close for both players. More bio coming in. We've got Marauders getting added as well now. No concussive shells. Baneling Ling does get intercepted by the reinforce. Concussive shells is going to be a very important upgrade as that Marauder count grows. Hopefully he does remember that, and the 3-3. If Bunny does that, I mean, I feel he's winning this game. But let's see what sort of follow-through he has. He looks really good when he's got these forward positions. Kind of oh, Soul's coming in from the right side. Lots of Banelings on the right side, but they all get absolutely hammered. That was a disgusting clump up of the Banes. You could see all of the tank turrets swivel to the right, target those Banelings, and then they were no more. Just coming in a little bit too clumped up. Once again, he was attacking around a corner. Solar came from here to there, which meant his units clumped on that corner very, very badly. And that is a kind of 101 of StarCraft engagements. Never attack around a corner, guys. Always try to get your army out in the open. Otherwise, they will clump up so damn hard. And Bunny, man, he was already looking good in this game. Now he is looking like he is out of control. The Bunny of game 1 is back. And this seems to be the nature of Bunny. If he can get a good start, he almost looks unstoppable. And that seems to be the secret here. Can he get a good start against a beast like Solar? He does get another point on the board. Solar's still one game from winning, but Bunny's fighting back. All right, guys, in the top left of the map, we've got Mystery Gaming's Bunny. He's fighting back. And man, his style is so hit or miss, but boy, when it hits, does it hit. He is destroying when he gets things going. Like, it's like Solar just doesn't stand a chance if Bunny gets a good opening. And that's weird because I've seen Maru get good openings versus Solar, and Solar just like always survives for another like 10 minutes, makes it look really competitive. Usually Maru ends up winning, but, you know, Solar's always taking maps and winning some of those games with comebacks. It doesn't feel like he can make a comeback versus Bunny. He's either, like, dominating Bunny, or he's getting ran over by Bunny's aggression. It's very interesting to see how it goes, man. Factory's on the way as well. Second gas already. No 3cc opening for Bunny. Interesting. I like that Bunny's mixing it up every game. I feel like, you know, if you play too predictably, I used to be very critical of Clem for doing the same thing every game back in a few years ago. And I really like that pretty much every Terran is very unpredictable these days. I remember Innovation for a while, same thing every game. Even he in latter years of his career was like, every game was a completely different opening. And Terran is very modular. So it's really nice because even if you're like going to do the same mid to late game, say follow-up, you can do it off different openings. And what's really great about Terran is that there is like, it's harder to execute certain things in Terran builds, but then you can take that and you can apply it to so many different builds, like the same kind of like order. No matter what the start is, it's almost always like third command center, second and third barracks, double engineering bay, 2 gases, fourth and fifth barracks, then you get the armory. Again, you get the second factory and the fourth command center. Like, there's this just order you follow these, and you get these little chunks and little pieces. And like, no matter what your opening is, like, you know, you try to tie up your siege tank or 2, 1 to 2 siege tanks with stim shields, 1 and hit a timing. Oh my god, he's going for broke. He's going for broke. Okay, Bunny, do not screw up. Like, who was it we were casting the other day? Someone kept accidentally canceling their Marauder and screwing up their timing, and I swear it would have worked otherwise. I can't remember who that was I was watching. But it looks like no mistake here for Bunny. He lets the Marauder pop out. He's hiding in the back. He's already got a... Wait, he's not gone a Viking. He's doing Liberator into it. Everyone always goes Viking. But I guess because Solar's so conservative with his Overlords, he's like, yeah, I don't need to deny scouting against you. I'll use Lib Harass to convince you it's just light harassment. And people are so used to only expecting a Marauder Hellbat timing if there's a Viking into a medevac, but he goes Lib medevac. It's a twist on the normal build, and it could switch Solar into autopilot where he's like, okay, drone. Well, it's just going to be a little bit of Hellions poking in and a Liberator poking in. I just need a Spore in each base, good Queen positioning, we'll be okay. And then the Hellions can almost lure them out. Now, that's a little suspicious. Hey, why are you stopping to kill that? What are you doing right now? You should definitely send the Liberator across the map, should Bunny, I think. Like, the Marine's going to deal with it, but I guess he's just chasing it forward. Solar's making a Nidus! Oh, no! Okay, Nidus definitely does not kill this build, but it's going to hit at the same time as the Hellbats are hitting him. Okay, guys, there's only one way to describe what's about to happen. Quickly, close your eyes. Picture this. You're in a classroom. One boy has somehow done his business in a plastic bag, filled the bag remaining with water, tied it up tight. They've turned the ceiling fan to maximum power, and they are about to throw that plastic bag into the ceiling. Duck and cover. The shiz is about to hit the fan. It's going to be explosive. It's going to be wet, and you better duck for cover. This game's about to be a hot mess. The timing's... Oh, he realizes. Okay, Solar realizes. He pops the Queens back out of the Nidus. He's realizing, wait a second, I'm getting hit. He pulls home to defend. The Queens need to drop those transfuses. Their Hellbats are morphing mid-combat. The Liberator is doing crazy damage on those Queens, but they focus it down. All the Lings get cleared. The Marauders and Hellbats going absolutely ham. Back at home, SCVs are fighting Zerglings, and they're actually doing surprisingly well. Hellbats are morphing as well. Dude, this is a good situation for Bunny. Hellbats and Marauders counter Queens and Lings pretty well. There's only 3 Queens left. He's got to stay clumped up. Lings trying to get on the Marines and the Marauders away from their Hellbats, but a nice clumping maneuver for Bunny. Bunny does not need to keep committing. He probably could do, but he does not need to. The Queens are going to pop out in the front. That is a crazy move there for Solar. Solar just threw his Queens into the meat grinder. This man just threw the game away. Maybe he felt it was such a bad position he needed to do a Hail Mary, but that was a disastrous decision. This man just avoided getting the atomic wedgie, and then he jumped straight into the toilet for a swirly. Bunny is getting so much extra value, catching the Queens, cleaning up the extra Nidus. And Bunny's got this one in the bag, guys. That was a beautiful build order choice. I love the Liberator first into it. And Solar tried to go for another all-in after the Ravager Ling didn't work out in the previous game. I really thought these were both great ideas. I thought the Ravager Ling on Gressman would be a free win. And now we are looking down the sights of a potential Game 7. For 2 days in a row, PiGFest is absolutely surprising us with just crazy series. What in the hell? The Hellbat's going to drop out of that medevac. Then the Hellbat's looking so good. The Marauders. Oh, he saves the Marauders. Picks them up and drops them again. Those Marauders, literally a stiff breeze would kill them right now, as would they kill the medevac. But he is in there, the beefy Hellbat Marauder army. Such a good timing attack, and especially good against a guy going Queen Ling. And you know what, guys? We've got to bring it up. Solar is the unluckiest player in the world, and I've got to point out why this is unlucky. This is the one build that completely hard counters Solar, and it's like a 1 in 10 games build at most. And yet it happened to line up against this Nidus build. Maybe it's Killer Instinct for Bunny, maybe it's Solar picking the wrong build, or maybe it's bad luck. You guys, let me know. I don't know which one it is at this point, but I gotta say, if I was Solar, I would be very frustrated. I'd be like, seriously, this is the one game where you choose to do this build? Come on, man. And he does get, unfortunately, taken advantage of. Roaches finally defend, but of course, Bunny has this in the bag. He's got 3 command centers, a 17 worker advantage, tanks on the way, Marines 1-1. Solar is going to pick up a brick of Ravager Zergling and throw it across the map. But whilst he used a very large brick used for landscaping to bash in Reyna's Protoss Skull earlier, in this case, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a brick of soap. If you guys have never tried to kill someone with a brick of soap, it's very difficult. And it's going to be kind of like that here. On the other hand, there's only 1 tank and a few Marines. If he biles the tank down early, maybe. But I feel like Bunny can defend this with just SCVs and Marine production, to be fair. If you put the soap in a sock, it can be lethal. Solar has been to Zerg prison before. Let's see if he knows that trick. Ooh, biles on the tanks, but there's just too much, man. The SCVs are going to buffer so well. The Marine firepower is there with Stim. And 1-1 in shields is on the way, so you're on a timer as Solar. A new tank's about to come down. Look at this. He can even chase off the ramp. We're getting a Game 7, ladies and gentlemen. What in the bloody heck? Heck yeah. GG. Well played. All right. I'm worried we're blowing our load a bit early in this tournament because it feels absolutely crazy right now that we are once again in another Game 7. What a fantastic tournament PiGFest 4 has been already. And thank you everyone who's been just so supportive and turning this into such a fun event. Solar's now in the top left, and he tried 2 cheeky kind of all-in type builds in a row, and they didn't work out. And oh my god, wait, what? Wait, what? Oh my god, guys, Bunny just snuck 2 SCVs past this Overlord on the very rim of the base. Oh, the hatchery goes down, he doesn't see it. Bunny is going for the dirtiest all-in in Game 7 ever. It's a double 15 barracks, literally in Solar's back door. This is what happens. Okay. If you guys don't follow StarCraft, what's happening right now is Bunny and Solar are mortal enemies. We know that from the last 3 games. The mortal enemy, your neighbor you have a literal rivalry with, has snuck into your backyard at midnight, has dug a trench in your backyard, and when you come out into your backyard in the morning to check on the dog, they're there in a trench with a squad of their buddies, and they've got automatic weapons sighted on your doors and windows. And you're like, what? Dude, I was complaining about your hedge being a little bit tall. Solar! Oh no, and he's going for a gasless 3 hatchery build! No! Oh my god, this is so nasty. There's an argument here that maybe the 3rd hatchery helps him out. But unluckiest Zerg in the world, unluckiest player in the world, it's such a stupid meme. It sounds so dumb and reductive as to how complicated StarCraft is. But this is looking very, very rough for Solar. Guys, let's go to Solar's camera and let's look at it from his point of view. Look at his camera. He cancels it. Oh, he actually cancels it. You know what? That's a really good cancel. Bunny may have shown this too early. Solar cancels it. He starts a Roach Warren. He's already got a gas started. There's a possibility that this works out for him. I think Bunny, if he just goes and cancels the 3rd, he's probably ahead. But because he's already putting a factory at home as well. Oh, he's not really getting any kills. He damages an Overlord. He damages a drone, but he doesn't want to get surrounded here. The Queen's almost out. And I think he's just going to rally new Marines into the bunker and then send the rest over here. Okay, yeah, he sees the 3rd now. He sees the 3rd. He needs to commit some units to that. The Lings try to run past, but that is a full bunker right now. He's going to send a few Marines over towards that third base. SCV's over here right now having a little bit of a drill battle with the drone, crossing their masts a little bit, seeing who's got the bigger drill, or in this case, I don't know what their attack's called, pincer claws or something like that? Something dumb. Bunker going up at the third base. Roaches gonna maybe cause trouble. There's only one Marine here, so the Lings will get out. I'm going to try and run to the right side. There is no units at home. There's a tech lab building, so Bunny's going to go for a Cyclone. Very good follow-up against the Roach Ravager pressure that you know is coming. Oh, you cannot lose that SCV. If you lose that SCV and don't get the bunker up, that's going to make this a bit more problematic for you as Bunny. Bunny's doing a great job of covering it. The Roaches and the Queens are going to come down. There's only one Marine there. I don't think there's any way you defend that third base. Solar's trying to defend it. Solar looks very stressed. He's trying to defend that base. I don't think it's possible. Solar is right now trying to make the impossible possible. He's walking his units down, his Queens and his Roaches. I guess he's cutting the Marines off from rejoining. But he's not... Oh, he's going to go with the Broodlings. He's going to go with the Broodlings. The Broodlings will get activated. They will take it down. And that bunker will get taken out. The Roaches are already going across the map. Solar is so keen to counterattack. He wants to put the hurt on Bunny. But Bunny's already got a Cyclone almost halfway complete. There is no way you get much damage here. The Marines trying to start a step back in the slow zone right now. Ooh... Empty bunker gets sold. New hatchery goes down. Solar cannot do any damage. He's trying to make Ravages right now, but he's got to pull back, or this Cyclone's about to give him some stiff welcoming committee. Oh, there are situations where you want a stiff welcoming committee. Usually a reunion with a lover after a long stint away from each other at sea, perhaps. But outside of that, when you're a mortal enemy, definitely not the sort of reception you're looking for. It's actually confusing more than anything. Like, why are you like that? Anyways, 4 Roaches there. The Cyclone actually kind of moved out of the base. Is this a huge mistake for Bunny? Why did he let that Cyclone take that much damage? And now it's out there. Oh my god. Oh my god, he's going to lose a whole ton of SCVs. 4 SCVs go down. The Viking does land. The Cyclone comes in from behind there. The Ravager does take a bit of damage. The Cyclone's got to be careful, man. 4 SCVs go down. That's amazing counter damage, because guess what? He's got 2 bases up. He's got Ling speed. He's droning. He's only on 2 hatcheries, but the command center is now finishing for Bunny. Bunny's Viking can go out, catch some Overlords. That'd be amazing right now. The Cyclone's doing some good job from hitting from 2 sides at once. Does take out a few of these Roachies, and as long as you don't lose the Cyclone, Bunny! Keep it together, my friend. Oh my god. Okay, loses 1 Cyclone. If he lost both, that would have been a bit of a disaster. It's that thing where you micro everything perfectly for a few minutes and then everything starts to fall apart. Overlord's going to come in and see the Cloaked Banshee. Viking needs to lift off and deal with that. Command Center will get to the natural 25 workers versus 30. Zerg, though, up 5 workers. Queen's injecting. And it does feel like there's no real follow-up pressure. For some reason, there's 2 Vikings right now. Wait, there's 1 on both sides of the map. I'm a little confused by that, but if you can get rid of that Overlord and get out, that's okay. He's at least going to keep Solar's vision back. Solar should probably pull that Overlord back as well. Does lose 2 Overlords. Definitely slows down his build-up, and that gives a bit of time for Bunny to rebuild. 3rd Command Center is on the way. He's going for Attack Lab and a Reactor. This game started with a dirty cheese, but Solar, with the quick cancel on the hatchery, the quick Roach Warren response, really salvaged what could have been a series-ending Game 7. And now we get to see it go on. And not only go on, but I would say a relatively even continuation of the series from here. It's very hard to read these games. Like, it's hard to kind of factor in all the different things. 4 Queens are out. The Vikings are getting a bit of damage, though. I think the Viking damage is keeping it very even. I think with the 3rd Command Center now finishing, morphing into an orbital, I can definitely see this one being nearly dead even when we look at the benchmarks in 3 or 4 minutes. 3rd Barracks is on the way as well. 1st Banshee coming in from the left. No detection right now, and it's already got Cloak. Oh man, Solar saw Cloak on the way, but he is caught with his pants down. That's a bit of a problem for him. Oh, Bunny going conservative. He could have gone into the natural and got even more workers. I would have loved to see that, but he's just going for the guaranteed damage on the 3rd base. Of course, not knowing the lair timing or if there's a spore coming up in the other bases or not. He says, yeah, take the short damage. Extra Banshee comes in as well. Should be able to take out that drone. Kind of letting these drones live for a little bit. Interesting. Gets a Queen. Now he's going to go for more damage. The 2nd Banshee is here. He sees the Overseer on the way, though. Definitely needs to pull back to that 3rd. The drone's going to be running around, playing hide and seek. Banshee's seeing that, though. Should stop those from being able to return home. This is really awkward for Solar right now. The Banshees have spotted them. There's going to be no escaping for any of those drones. I say for any. Oh, 2 of them get away. Bit of miss micro for Bunny. Bunny has to stay focused right now, man. I feel like he's very nervous just looking at the way he's controlling things. On the other hand, so is Solar. He had a bit of a supply block just before. Lots of overlords now popping out. Trying to play roaches is Solar. And Solar's only got 1 queen in the main. He's only got 5 queens total. Another 2 drones going down. It feels like Bunny's getting so much damage done. On the other hand, I don't know if he's actually been hitting his own macro perfectly behind it because he's still only at 46 workers. So it still feels kind of like a normal gap. But with no Evo chambers starting, it does feel like Bunny is starting to pull away. His upgrades are pretty far ahead, and Solar is taking a bit more damage than he really should be. I think his adrenaline is still pumping from the early game. His mouth's open. You can tell he's trying to focus, but he's got to kind of like just take a deep breath here, calm down, and get his feet underneath him, because if he doesn't get upgrades soon, he is going to be getting hammered by the upgrade advantage. Now, keep in mind, Bunny has not been a fan of getting 2-2 in this series, and he hasn't started an armory, even though his +1 attack's almost finished. But my god, you cannot let these Banshees do this much damage. Another 4 drones go down. There's another Viking on the right as well. Solar has a great creep up the middle there, but he's got very little vision outside of the Zerglings on the watchtowers and the creep spread. 1 Banshee flies in, does finally go down, loses the lethal damage. Solar with the double Evo chamber on the way. He's on 67 workers, but unable to secure a 4th base. And as his +1 range starts, so does his +1 carapace. 1-1's finished for Bunny, or at least +1 attack has. No sign of that armory. He's got the 4th and 5th barracks with his last reactor building right now. And it looks like he just might want to go hard with the marine tank again. Tank's coming forward. He's going to eat. I think he'll be able to deny this base. There's roach speed, but there's only a few roaches. No Ravagers out right now. Bunny pushing hard. Ling's on the 3rd base. SCV's quickly pulled away. Tries to put a command center in the face of the Ling pressure. A little bit of a wild move there. Siege tank does get taken out by the corrosive bile. Roaches and queens trying to defend. Solar does not have the numbers right now to contest Bunny properly. There's still a siege tank back there in the slow zone. It will get biled down. He's trying to drop marines so he can save it, but he accidentally walks the medevac into the bile. Bunny goes on a rescue mission and crashes the 747 into the tarmac, trying to pick someone up on the way out. That is not the way the exit was meant to go there. And Solar got a double value hold in a position where he is up against the wall. Hive is on the way as well as a Hydra Den. I don't know about this purple gas base. I've always argued this is a very exposed base. It's a bait base. You use it to bait the opponent into attacking you. Or if you genuinely think you're going to defend it as a Zerg, you build it in order to bait yourself into losing the game, because any tank push up the middle is going to be a nightmare to deal with. That being said, it's worked out for him so far. He got a great fight. And the armory finally goes down about a minute after the +1 armor finishes, about a minute and a half or more after the +1 attack finishes. He's got a 4th command center on location. It looks like he had to cancel that other one, or maybe it never even started because the Lings were blocking it. No 2nd factory yet either for Bunny. Bunny's lack of upgrades will hurt him in the long game. I also don't know how well evolved Bunny's late game is. I've never seen Bunny play late game. I don't think he plays it very much. I think he's a player who would rather stab you as quickly and as firmly as possible rather than just kind of, fencing with you in the late game, technical spellcaster stuff. I'm sure he knows how to play Ghost very well, but I don't think he's going to want to play 15 planetaries, 12 orbitals like Maru does. Dude, this drop's getting crazy damage. He doesn't need to think about late game if he can get snipes like that. Hive is already done, though, so you can argue the infestation pit is really not that important. But look at this. Marine drop down the left, the double drop on the right starting to heal up. Solar's trying to get this 5th base established. That's going to be cancelled for shoresies. Actually, Marines do have to pick up on that one. A couple of Hydras are out, +2 carapace, +2 ranges on the way at almost identical time to the 2-2 of Terran. Terran could have been about 2 to 2.5 minutes ahead on upgrades, but they find themselves very slow on upgrading in this game. Solar, because he took crazy counter harassment damage after this early game. Bunny, because he just kind of has been so busy doing all that damage that he hasn't taken the time earlier to do it. But now he's got the production, right? 8 racks coming up, 2nd factory with Attack Lab for double tank production. It does feel like it's hitting at a point when there's already Vipers and Lurkers out for Solar, so Solar has the better tools, but his numbers suck. Solar has very little bank, he doesn't have that much stuff, he needs things like that. Corrosive Bile can take out the Banshee, get the Watchtowers back off Bunny, and then start abducting and blinding clouding siege tanks for victory. But he's got no money to work with. Solar is very, very poor in this game. He's getting up to about 80 workers now, so his economy will start to roll. The problem is you're making Lurkers your opponents on Tank Ghost. Tank Ghost counters Lurkers very hard. You want to hit a Lurker timing when they don't have the counter. Instead, Solar is in survival mode with his Lurker Viper, and it's only a matter of time until EMPs start ruining his day on the Vipers and snipes on everything else. Single Viking already causing a little bit of trouble. A couple Queens come forward and say no. Viking plus those Marines on the right. Did he just pick up a single Marine and drop it on the right side? Okay, guys. Bunny's a bit of a styler, isn't he? Trying to annoy his opponent. Okay, Lurkers get a few shots off. A couple of ducks would be great. I think he's far enough forward. He could definitely just abduct a few siege tanks forward, especially when scans worn off. Kill 2, 3, 4 siege tanks very easily. Here we go. He's going to go for it. Does get 1, does get 2. Make it 3, make it 4. Really nice pick-offs there. The Roach Ravager tries to run forward as well. He drops the triple bile, gets that third tank. Great move for Solar. And that's why you probably got to be very careful now as Bunny. You just lost a lot of tanks. You've only got 5 tanks left. Only 1 ghost. You need a few more ghosts to EMP them the next time they try that. But oh my god, the double drops back in on the top! Buddy, his drops! The secret to his success. Usually when Bunny's winning, it's because his drops are in, his drops are out, his drops are everywhere but where your army is, and they're causing you trouble. He's trying to catch the Roaches and the Lings on the left side. That might be a bit of a mistake for him. The Lings starting to come in. The Lings do not have melee upgrades. The Bio is kind of stimming itself to death here. The Roach Hydra will deal with it. Double drop's going to shove back in on the top. I think he senses the F2 of Solar, and he realizes you're exposed. Once again, Bunny goes in, stims a few Marines and clicks on the hatchery, but it's not that many. Parasitic Bomb wants to go down on those medevacs. 1 Lurker falls, a giant row of spines up their butts, and those Marines do all get ripped to shreds. Looks like the Lings will defend this base for now. Trying to click on the Viper, ain't gonna take it down. Ghosts coming in, tanks still building 2 at a time. 3-3 has never started for the Terran, whereas Carapace and Melee has started for the Zerg. He's attacking as well! Bunny unsieged, Bunny unsieged. His unit's trying to pull back right now. Bile's landing in the Liberator. Biopack, Blinding Cloud is devastating the Lurkers. Doing very well, but it's a mixed ball. A mixed bag, I should say. That army was not that high damage. It's a lot of Roaches and Hydras, and the Lurkers are kind of slow to get in there and burrow. And even though certain spells went off very well for Solar, the Bio did quite well for Terran. The engineering bay is still idle right now. There is one guy there. He's like that dude in that big company where the department all got fired, but they forgot to fire him, and he just went to work every day for a few years getting paid a salary without actually having a job to do. That is right now the engineers that work in those engineering bays. Ghosts coming forward. They don't have a lot of energy. I like the positioning for Bunny pressuring this base, but army-wise, supply-wise, he's not looking all that great. He's only got 4 tanks here. He's got 10 ghosts. We've got the Bio coming forward as well. The Hydras, the Ravagers, the Lurkers trying to hold him back. He doesn't have enough snipes to really be punishing Solar when Solar dances in and out. Units lost tab is very close to even, and that is usually good for the Zerg. But Solar, he's trying to expand to the left side of the map, which means if he loses control of this center area, I don't know how he ever defends that left side. If he loses control here, he's in trouble. He needs to go Broodlords, because in this style where you're making so many Lurkers, you're forcing mass tank Ghost. Broodlord is the answer to that. I know Ghosts can kind of answer Broodlords, but definitely you're going to need to do that eventually. 3-3 finally starting. Hydra's coming forward. The tank's getting some good shots off snipes as well. Bunny just punished Solar pretty hard. Solar is way quicker to remax. Units lost tab starting to drift in favor of Bunny more and more. Oh my lordy lord, man. Both players are looking so stressed in this game. 7 big piles landing. Dude, the Lurker volley just got a big shot. I love Solar's micro with the Roach Hydra. The Ravager Hydra, he's buying a lot of time, but these snipes, when they do land, they're popping valuable units. Oh man, like Pimple's ready to burst. Those Zerg units going down. He's trying to swap in a Lingbane Viper, which can work, but he's still very reliant on Lurkers at this moment, and Solar wisely gives up this base. Maybe should have done that 1 or 2 minutes ago. He bled out a lot of resources. Remember, it was 12,000 lost versus 13,000 lost. In the interim, he's only killed 1,000 to 2,000 while losing almost 5,000 resources. He's going to use his Lurkers for a mass Lurker drop on the right side. They could actually do decently because they kill the repairing SCVs, but oh my, the Bio comes in from all sides. That's going to be an easy cleanup. Oh, that's a very good fight for Bunny. He gets 8 Lurkers and an Overlord for what, 3 SCVs, not much else. Trying to take a base on the right as well. Bunny is in the lead, and he's trying to make more Lurkers. Lurkers are a dead investment at this point. They will not get the job done versus Tank Ghost. Tank Ghost is a hard counter to the Lurker. Solar stuck on this Lurker tech, though. He doesn't have Broods available. He doesn't have any Infestors with Burrow to ambush the Ghost. He's getting swarmed by a Siege Terran right now. He's going to go for one big YOLO. Now he has to make it or break it. The Blinding Cloud of the Gods lands on those tanks. An amazing angle for Solar. Wow! Coming on in from all sides, but there's still a pack of Bio Ghost. And you know what happens. The moment you turn to retreat, those Ghosts are on top of you like white on rice. Lurkers and Ravagers trying to fall back right now. We've got 11 Ghosts, 2 Marauders, 12 Marines, 3 Siege Tanks. 10 medevacs. It's a pack of roaches, hydras, lurkers, and vipers. I really feel Solar needs to get to a fully mobile Lingbane Hydra Viper army. He broke the army there, but I don't know if that's enough at this point. How many orbitals do we have? 5 orbitals, and as long as he gets a base in the top right, I do think Bunny's going to have an insane income advantage. What the hell is that? Oh, Bunny. Bunny just got nasty, guys. Bunny, I mean, I'm looking at his camera he's trying to take a base outside Solar's base. He is trying to build an entrenchment outside. Guys, he's trying to do that thing Caesar did to the Gauls. I mean, Solar right now feeling a bit trapped. He's like, we got to wait for the reinforcements. And it's like, sir, he's digging a ditch around our city. You need to go now. You cannot let him finish this ditch. If he gets a planetary up there, you're going to be in big troubles, man. You're going to be in big troubles. I think Solar needs to flank around and force these units home. I think he's got to go hit the rally or something. Fighting into this area, that area is way too walled off. He's even nuking forward as well. Bunny has just gone ultimate disrespect chat mode gamer. I didn't realize Dr. Disrespect was playing StarCraft in the body of a Korean man. I didn't realize he could walk into humans and play different esports. What the hell? Nuke lands doesn't land on too much. Ling Bane is going to force a lot of the bio ghost back. I don't know how much it's going to get done right now. Baneling's trying to roll into these bases. We'll see exactly what he can find. A few SCVs. He's got to take advantage. The bio ghost is pulled back. Can he break this? Mass Ling would do very well on those tanks. He needs some abducts and some hydras to clean up the liberators. The hydras coming forward. The Ling Bane as well. Parasitic Bomb of the medevac is going to pop 1, 2, 3. Medevacs do go down, but there's not enough anti-air on the right side. Those liberators causing problems. This mixed arms force of Terran is too much. And Bunny, at the end of an insane Game 7, starts to build a goddamn fortress outside Solar's base, abuses the advantage of the late game neo-humanity, and he does very well. GG, well played. That was an insane game by Bunny.